Good evening, I'm Adam Cellini. Jacqueline Matter has the night off. Topping our shows tonight, some severe storms heading our way. Let's head straight over to Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan, who has been monitoring that activity out there in the Gulf all night long. Bob.
And that's where it has been, really, Adam, out there in the Gulf of Mexico. That's where the severe weather is confined to right now. There have been no reports of any severe weather over land at this time, but we've had winds gusting as high as 50 miles an hour with some of the buoys just offshore of Longboat Key. With some of these cells, they make their way off to the northeast. The actual cold front still back beyond us here, and it has a long way to go before it actually moves through us. Right now, some heavy showers and storms continue to pile up in the eastern Gulf of Mexico, moving to the northeast at around 20 to 30 miles an hour. You can see another line developing here. This is the one we're going to have to watch very closely in time. This lone cell, too, could be a problem maker here as it makes its way to the northeast toward Longboat Key. This one in particular had some rotation just about 30 minutes ago as it made its way through Manatee County. There were some indications of some rotation with it, but that weakened as it moved on through toward the northeast. So we'll keep an eye on these cells. They'll continue to pop up here in the eastern Gulf of Mexico. So far, the strongest winds recorded 50 miles an hour with a buoy off of Longboat Key. We could see some severe weather break out during the early morning hours once the front moves on through. So that chance is there. Right now, there have been no reports of any severe weather. And you can see this cell has produced a lot of lightning right now. The main concern with it is the potential for some very heavy rainfall into Clearwater Beach and into Pinellas County. This one not all that strong at this point. Heavier weather now approaching Wauchula and heading to the northeast and other cells out there in the Gulf of Mexico. Taking a look at the shear product, not much going on now with the cells that have moved on through, but earlier, that's the one in particular that we see right there. You kind of see that indication right there just to the north of Lakewood Ranch and then in between DeWitt and Parrish, moving off into Hillsborough County now. Well, much more on our cold weather snap that'll move in throughout the day on Saturday and continue throughout the work week. More of that coming up in a few minutes. Adam?
All right, thank you, Bob. Well, it was mostly weather in other parts of the country affecting air travel here on the Sun Coast. Some flights today in and out of Sarasota Bradenton International Airport have either been delayed or canceled. ABC 7's Rick Adams spoke with travelers at SRQ Airport tonight.
Well, there have been a handful of either delays or cancellations here at SRQ. These travel headaches can be blamed on bad weather. The board says it all. Some flights coming into the Sarasota Bradenton International Airport delayed or canceled, and it's the same for flights going out. Ryanair is trying to get back home to Montgomery, Alabama. His flight from SRQ to Atlanta had been delayed for almost 8 hours. Since there was a good chance that it was going to be canceled, he decided to rent a car and make the 8.5-hour drive back home.
It's frustrating, but it's, it's kind of out of our control, so best thing you do is just bear with it and try to plan accordingly.
Nasty weather in parts of the South is the reason for these issues with air travel. Steve Farroge was attempting to get to Nashville via Atlanta. Even though his flight was delayed for hours, he had a good attitude about it.
I just look at it as part of life going through airports now. I mean, you're almost at their mercy. I'm sure they want to keep it safe. And I do too.
Airport officials say with the bad weather also affecting the Sun Coast, there could be many more delays or cancellations this weekend. It's even impacting travel plans for one of the leaders of SRQ.
I'm actually scheduled to go on the 4 p.m. departure, which is now scheduled at 8:35 p.m. So the nice thing is the airlines have the technology to let you know.
And airport officials are encouraging travelers to check with their airline to get the latest flight information. Reporting from SRQ, I'm Rick Adams, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, thank you, Rick. And with an anticipated drop in temperatures, shelters will be opening in Sarasota County. Sarasota County emergency management officials are coordinating to provide cold weather sheltering for those in need. 2 shelters will be open Saturday and Sunday evening. The North County shelter will be at the Salvation Army Center of Hope on 10th Street near downtown Sarasota. The Salvation Army will have its front porch opening at 4 p.m. with intake expected to start around 6:30 p.m. The front porch will reopen again at 4:30 a.m. and remain open until 5 a.m. when the Welcome Center opens completely. The South County shelter will be at Grace United Methodist Church on Field Avenue in Venice. That shelter will be opening at 5 p.m. The 32nd annual Holiday Boat Parade of Lights in Sarasota will be canceled tomorrow night due to a small craft advisory issued by the U.S. Coast Guard. Organizers for that event saying the U.S. Coast Guard, and as you heard Bob just a couple minutes ago, advising coastal areas to expect some wind gusts tomorrow evening as an approaching cold front moves into the area. Local law enforcement agencies decided this was in the best interest of participants and spectators. The parade will not be rescheduled. Sarasota police officers responding to calls of a man waving around a firearm on Main Street earlier this evening. Police say they saw a man acting erratically and showing signs of mental illness, and you can see in this video captured by a viewer the man falling suddenly to the ground after a loud pop is heard. Now, Sarasota police did not address how they subdued this man, but they did say officers were able to safely take him into custody and enact the Baker Act. Police say the man did have a weapon on him, which they later identified as an airsoft gun. That incident remains under investigation. A new twist to a recent murder case in Manatee County. A man was found guilty, but now one of the jurors in that trial is saying racism could have played a role in deliberations. A letter was written to the Manatee County Courthouse last month from a juror on the Jimmy McNear murder trial. That juror detailing how she felt poorly treated by other jurors, and she says she believes it's because of her race and gender. Now a judge is considering bringing that juror in for an interview to see whether those allegations of racism could have impacted the deliberation. McNear was found guilty of second-degree murder of a Bradenton couple back in 2015. In today's hearing, Judge Diana Moreland heard from both State Attorney Arthur Brown and McNear's attorney William Bennett.
She did put down specifically that she did not believe that a black defendant could receive a fair trial with the individuals that she sat with for deliberations. That in and of itself, is my position, is a statement that's strong enough to just at least interview her to find out, you know, did somebody do something specifically?
So far, no decision has been made on whether the juror will come in for an interview. Both the state attorney and McNear's attorney will be present during that interview if that person is indeed brought in. Well, Sarasota County's jail is at 85% capacity, and the cash-strapped county is trying to find ways around having to build a new facility. Some ideas include a work program, which would mean nonviolent offenders would do community service instead of serving jail time. This approach is already working in a local DUI court. Revamping the mental health court has been a proposed solution as well. The jail on Main Street has 867 inmates, and its capacity is 1,000. Some local students getting a special lesson on language today, but it wasn't Spanish or French they were learning. It was the language of computers. Students from pre-K to 8th grade at St. Martha Catholic School took part in an hour of code as part of Computer Science Education Week.
And, you know, as I'm speaking English to you and I can speak different languages, you know, humans can speak differently. Well, computers speak differently to one another. So our world is going so digital and it's everywhere. And we really need to focus with these kids on how to communicate with the computers as well and teach them the different computer languages that are out there. In fact, some states are actually going towards allowing a computer science language, a computer language to count for foreign language.
The nationwide event was planned by the nonprofit organization Code.org. Companies like Apple and Google are also involved in that event. Well, in the spirit of the season, a local dentist has organized a day of free dental services for those who wouldn't be able to afford that treatment otherwise. If you're one of those people, from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. tomorrow, you can visit one of 8 local locations for one free procedure. Those participating clinics include the Exceptional Dentistry of Sarasota, the Office of Aaron Mimon, SRQ Dentistry, Hyde Park Dental, Michael DeRosiak, DDS, Sarasota Family Dentistry, David and Bayer Dental Health Professionals, Sarasota Periodontical Associates, and Smile Center. And if you didn't catch all of those names and addresses, they went pretty quick. You can find them right on our website, mysuncoast.com. Well, straight ahead, Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with some more on those weather changes heading our way. Plus, Southern California wildfires continue to grow as firefighters work to contain those blazes. And President Trump having stern words for Wells Fargo on Twitter today. What the president had to say about the company's, quote, bad acts.
All hands hands on deck. What's up? I want to point out 3 tips for using the home computer more safely. Point away.
First, stop. Make sure your software is up to date and that you've password protected your computer's login and Wi-Fi connection.
Next, think before visiting a site, opening attachments, or clicking on links.
Then connect, knowing you're helping make the web safer for you
and for everyone. Make Stop, Think, Connect part of your daily online routine.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
This is an important medical announcement. Xarelto and Pradaxa have been linked to uncontrollable bleeding and even death. If you've been prescribed one of these drugs and have experienced these dangerous side effects, you may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that Pradaxa can cause more heart attacks than warfarin, and other countries have already issued safety warnings against this drug. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. The call is confidential. There's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to Pradaxa victims, and thousands of Xarelto victims are filing their legal cases. Call the Drug Watch hotline. If you or a loved one used Xarelto or Pradaxa and experienced uncontrollable bleeding, brain hemorrhage, or even death, you must call now.
Call 800-793-6055. 800-793-6055.
Let me introduce you to the ultimate Florida window. Do you feel safer with this or this? You'll be proud too.
Buy more, save more. Volume discounts on 4 or more windows.
Enjoy some of the best Suncoast restaurants on me. Just go to mysuncoast.com/dining, sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already, and you can win a $50 gift card to a restaurant in our area. We'll pick a winner each week, so go on our website and sign up now.
Well, right now we are continuing to watch showers and storms developing in advance of a strong cold front, the strongest one of the season, which will usher in some very chilly weather for Florida standards over the upcoming 48 hours. We continue to watch this line in particular. This is the one of concern, generating a lot of lightning strikes. That's always indicative of a developing storm system. We'll watch if it holds together. This one has the potential for producing some winds gusting as high as 40 to 50 miles an hour. Elsewhere, we've had storms move through already. This one produced winds off of the coast of Longboat Key up to 50 miles an hour. It now is racing through Polk County and pretty quiet now into Northport and into Venice, Inglewood. Not much going on there, but notice this line of storms there. So we're not over with this quite yet. It's going to continue on again and off again throughout the next several hours. I suspect most of it should be done by, say, around 4 a.m. it looks like right now, but we'll have to watch it closely. The cold front itself is still just to the north of Orlando. It will continue to sag southward right now and eventually clear our area by sunrise tomorrow. Right now, there's no severe weather to report. There was a special marine warning in effect, but that is for the most part expired. We're watching this cell that just popped up along Cortez and State Road 70 heading off toward I-75. That's moving to the northeast toward Palmetto and into Parrish. As far as the wind shear goes, we look for this product to sometimes show us where some rotation may be occurring with some of the cells. And you'll notice this in particular one right there, which is to the west of Anna Maria, pushing off to the northeast. So we'll watch that. Nothing else going on too significant at this point. as it makes its way to the northeast. So lots still happening here as far as the radar picture goes, but so far no severe weather reported. And most of the storms I've queried has found the major impact has been flooding. There's been some small hail reported, at least Doppler indicated hail, and no significant rotation with any of the cells, and that's always a good sign at this juncture. Now, as far as the rainfall estimates go, already just that one cell produced up to nearly 0.8 of an inch of rainfall estimates from the Doppler radar site. Notice not much rain in Venice or in Sarasota at this time, but that is soon to change as all this is kind of sweeping to the southeast while the storms are racing to the northeast at around 30 miles an hour. Now, and we'll see the rain continuing, as I said, up to about sunrise. A special warning remains in effect, I should say, until 11:30. That's a special marine warning in effect until 11:30. A small craft advisory is in effect, and that's issued by the National Weather Service. That will stay with us all the way through 10 o'clock tomorrow night. So seas are expected to be 5 to 7 feet high, and that will cause rough conditions out there on the waters. Temperatures, dew point temperatures really tell the story as to where that cold front is. You can see it right there just to the north. Dew point temperatures in the 30s and 40s. That's where all the cold, dry air is. Out ahead of it, still in the low 70s. That's summer-like readings as far as dew point temperatures go. And those will continue to plummet throughout the day tomorrow. So get ready for some very cool and dry air to settle in over the next several days. So if you like that, you like the sweaters and jackets, you'll need them over on in through Monday. 74 right now, though. It's still pretty warm out there. Winds are brisk out of the south-southwest at 13. The pressure 29.85 inches. The high today, last time we'll see 80s for a while. 81 degrees the high at the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport. 75 is our normal high, and no rainfall officially throughout the day at the airport, but more rain is on the way. This is at 4:30. I mentioned that 4:30 hour. It may be a little sooner than that. We still have a chance to see some showers and storms move on through. And then we'll get the light to moderate rain all the way up until midday on Saturday. After that, skies become partly cloudy to mostly fair by Saturday night, and much colder and drier air settles in for a few days. Another cold front due to arrive on Tuesday of next week. So for boaters, small craft advisory, winds out of the northwest at 20 knots, seas 5 to 7 feet. Choppy conditions out there. The water temperature 75. That will be dropping too significantly. By Monday, it should be into the upper 60s to mid 60s. Low tide upcoming will be at 12:08 tomorrow afternoon, and sunrise at 7:09. So some strong storms still possible. Mostly cloudy skies overnight. Heavy rain is still an issue, and 62 for a low. Tomorrow, morning showers turns to mostly cloudy skies. Windy and cooler, high of 67 degrees. The extended forecast, high of only 62 on Sunday. Lots of sunshine, though, Monday through Thursday. A weak front moves through on Tuesday evening and keeps temperatures slightly below average through the work week. Adam?
All right, thank you, Bob. Well, wildfires roared across Southern California for a 5th straight day, prompting more evacuations. 6 large wildfires scorching nearly 160,000 acres and have forced 190,000 people out of their homes. Omar Jimenez is in Ventura County, California, with the latest.
Against the night sky, the only thing visible is an inferno. This is the Thomas Fire, the biggest of the fires burning in Southern California and more than 3 times the size of Washington, D.C. It's the biggest fire Los Angeles has battled since 1961. Across the region, at least 5,700 firefighters work around the clock to contain the towering walls of flames.
We get in there and you watch the flames coming through and you look at the houses and figure out what you can or can't do around there to keep ourselves safe.
The fires quickly consumed neighborhoods, forcing tens of thousands of people from their homes.
Well, our neighbors burned and some around us, but we are okay.
But once the winds shift, the flames disappear almost as quickly as they arrived, leaving behind a trail of destruction.
Unfortunately, we can't let anyone up yet.
But many homeowners are desperate to see what's left.
I'm mad. You know, I just want to get home. I'm sick of being in a hotel.
It doesn't get any easier from here, with wind gusts in the region up to 55 miles per hour and dry conditions continuing throughout the weekend. The potential for the fires to get worse before they get better is very real. In Ventura County, California, I'm Omar Jimenez reporting.
Well, President Trump had stern words for Wells Fargo on Twitter today. He tweeted in part, quote, fines and penalties against Wells Fargo Bank for their bad acts against their customers and others will not be dropped. In October, Wells Fargo said it wrongly charged some mortgage borrowers for missing a deadline to lock in promised interest rates. It Turns out the delays were the bank's fault, and the company promised refunds for any of the, the company promised refunds for any of the 110,000 customers affected. This comes on top of Wells Fargo's other troubles, most notably the fake account scandal. The bank admitted last year to firing more than 5,000 workers for creating millions of fake accounts. Subaru and Hyundai have the most vehicles named top safety picks by the insurance industry. 15 vehicles have earned the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety's top safety pick plus designation for 2018. To get that title, vehicles must perform well on crash tests and offer advanced frontal crash prevention technology. 47 vehicles earn the next best designation of top safety pick, including 10 from Toyota and its luxury Lexus brand. Well, sports is coming up next, but first, here's Chris Pratt in for Jimmy Kimmel.
Chris Pratt here, filling in for Jimmy Kimmel, and I did awesome.
I've had the time of my life. No, I've never felt this way before.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
I heard about the Dotole Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Dotole Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was. I can tell you that you will not find a finer, more professional team of clinicians anywhere in the world.
This is an important medical announcement. Bard IVC filters have been linked to punctured veins and problems with migration. Anyone who's received a Bard IVC filter must receive medical monitoring and may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you have the Bard Recovery G2 or G2 Express filter, you are in a class of patients who should be compensated for some expenses. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential. There's no cost and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to people who should have been warned about the risks of the Bard IVC filters. Call the IVC Filter Hotline if you or a loved one has received an IVC filter and experienced a vein puncture or required medical monitoring. You must call now.
Call 800-329-3089. 800-329-3089.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Now, sports. Southeast High School's search for a new head football coach has ended. The program once again turning to a former player. Brett Timmons, who played on Southeast's state title team from the 90s, accepted the job this morning, according to athletic director Joe Collis. Timmons has previous head coaching experience with Out of Door Academy and Lakewood Ranch. He takes over for another Southeast grad, Rashad West, who resigned earlier this year following 2 seasons. Southeast started last season 5-0, but had to forfeit 6 games after playing an academically ineligible player. Timmons has applied for the Seminoles head coaching job 2 times before, so it looks like third time is the charm. And here's a look at Venice High School football taking off for Orlando earlier this morning. The Indians are back in the state title game for the first time since their only championship back in 2000. Players receiving a send-off from students at Venice Elementary School. The car pickup line was packed with banners, flags, and students cheering on the Indians, as you can see right there. Venice will take on Bartram Trail High School from the Jacksonville area. Kickoff will be tomorrow at 3 p.m. at Camping World Stadium in Orlando, and we'll have the highlights right here on ABC 7. Well, Japanese superstar baseball prospect Shohei Ohtani has signed with a major league team. No, it will not be the Yankees. Instead, Ohtani is heading to Hollywood to play with 2-time MVP Mike Trout and the LA Angels. The 23-year-old will attempt the rare feat of pitching and hitting in the big leagues, something he did successfully as a pro overseas, posting a .320 ERA and .332 batting average last season in Japan. Also surprising, the Angels are getting Ohtani for the modest price of a minor league contract. Seattle and Texas were among other possible landing spots. LeVar Ball is firing back at the president in an ongoing Twitter feud. Ball posting this GIF to his Twitter account on Thursday with a cartoon of him dunking on Trump and a caption warning Donald to stay in his lane. The feud has been ongoing since Ball's son LeAngelo was arrested in China last month for shoplifting along with 2 other UCLA basketball players. Trump, who was visiting China at the time, took credit for their release and return home, which Ball later refuted. The president's response today, once again saying he should have left those players in jail. Well, ahead of the 118th annual Army-Navy football game that will happen on Saturday, cadets from West Point brave the blistering winter conditions up north to deliver the game ball from campus to the site of the game tomorrow, Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia.
It was awesome. It's a huge experience that I always love. Loved it last year. It was even better this year. Can't wait for the years to come.
They put in all the miles to make it through the season and have a great time and run the ball all the way here from West Point, put in all those miles and get to the stadium to beat Navy tomorrow. It's awesome.
The Army-Navy game also kicks off tomorrow at 3 p.m. Well, that's a look at sports. We'll have tonight's winning lotto numbers straight ahead.
Naomi, my California closet designer, has been my partner in crime. She was genuinely fun to work with. We have had a ball collaborating on the 8 units that we have done in our home. The closets in the house are great, but the den is what everyone comments on when they walk in the house. And it's so beautiful. They say, whoa, who did that? And I said, it's California Closets. My name is Melissa, and this is my California Closet story.
Being the caregiver for someone you love is truly a blessing. But sometimes you can lose a part of yourself. To be your best, for them and for you, it's important to have time to be able to recharge your batteries. When you call Tidewell Hospice, they can give you a chance to do just that. And with the peace of mind of knowing your loved one is in the very best hands. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad, and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Attention type 2 diabetics. The FDA warns of an increased risk of amputation associated with certain diabetes medications. If you took the diabetes medications Invokana or Invokamet and then suffered an amputation or one of these other serious injuries, call the Rely On Group right now. If you've suffered amputation or any of these other injuries after taking your diabetes medication, call the Rely On Group today. You may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. Call 800-604-1698. That's 800-604-1698.
Northland Outdoors is about so much more than the biggest fish or the hottest hunting spots. All across the Northland, there are amazing people with incredible stories to tell. We're going to find those stories and share them with everyone. Join us each and every week as we explore the Northland and experience some of the most exciting outdoor adventures in the country right here in our own backyard. This is Northland Outdoors.
Every year, 40% of all food in the U.S. never gets eaten.
40%. That's almost half the food we produce.
Food waste is a serious problem. It impacts all of us.
And it's expensive. Your family is throwing $1,500 a year in the trash.
We're working hard to put food waste on the chopping block.
And you can do the same at home.
Learn how to cook it, store it, and share it.
Just don't waste it.
Go to SaveTheFood.com.
ABC 7 News at 7, weeknights.
The Florida Lottery winning numbers are sponsored by Frontier Fios.
Bob Harrigan, you have been just glued to screens tonight. I mean, keeping an eye on everything.
It's reminded me back, to the coverage of the hurricane. You've got to stay with it, but this is not nearly as bad. Thankfully, there's been no severe weather reported at this point. There's a couple of special marine warnings. We still have some storms out there. They're still developing. We'll stay through it in the morning hours. We'll break into coverage. Follow us on Facebook as well. We'll update you on that as well.
That's right. Bob will have all the updates throughout the night, so stay tuned.
It's the holiday sales event here at Alex Karras Lincoln. Drive a brand new 2017 Lincoln MKC Sport Utility for $269 per month or a 2017 MKZ for $279 per month. We have a great selection of certified pre-owned Lincolns. These vehicles have warranties up to 100,000 miles and come with complimentary roadside assistance. Alex Karras Lincoln, affordable luxury, winner of the prestigious 2015 President's Award, serving Florida's Sun Coast since 1978. We are located 2 miles north of the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport on US 41.
The perfect musical for the holidays is live on the Players Center stage. Packed with the big band sounds from World War II, the 1940s Radio Hour is our Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy answer to the holiday blues. Call the Players Center at 365-2494 or visit us at theplayers.org. The Players Wild Broadway series wishes you a Merry Christmas with the 1940s Radio Hour.
Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Make your holidays sparkle with style. Browse our amazing showroom, cute collectible cottages, and beautiful Christmas displays. Find the inspiration, selection, and quality you need to deck the halls merry and bright. Christmas Traditions also features the area's largest selection of quality pre-lit Christmas trees, every size, shape, and color, and plenty of decorations to make your home shine for the holidays. Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Visit us on New 301, just a quarter-mile north of University Parkway.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
So I never had closet systems before. Our designer, Bridget, was able to listen and ask the right questions, taking our ideas and making them happen. We were totally satisfied from beginning to end. I knew the California Closets would help me with every aspect of the design process, and they delivered 100%. My name is Teresa, and this is my California Closet story.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get debt-free now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off
off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-628-1251. 800-628-1251.
I'm Anne. I'm a scientist.
Recycling takes a team.
Why don't you let me and me help you out?
Everyone plays a part. Don't trash
I love taking stuff apart and building new things out of it.
what could be treasure.
Pal's my most advanced android. This is awesome. You haven't seen anything yet.
Give your cardboard box another life. Recycle.